Hey everyone, welcome back to Today in Tech. We are talking about smart home security, what steps you should be taking to make sure that all those devices in your house are secure, and whether or not you're comfortable with it. Today I have PC and Mac World's Mike Simon. Stick around. All right, Mike, thank you so much for coming in. Now, you are a smart home device user.
I am.
Dare I say lover?
you can call me that. That's accurate.
So I want to talk a little bit about what's been going on lately in the news about Ring cameras. They're sort of, I almost feel like the hallmark smart home device. They're the video doorbell cameras. You ring the doorbell, you get an alert. Someone's at your door. It's your friend or your neighbor or someone delivering a package.
Yeah, they're kind of the poster child of all this because they're affordable and they're somewhat ubiquitous. Like they've kind of caught on quicker than the Nest cameras because they were cheap, relatively cheap.
Are Ring cameras much significantly more cheaper than Nest cameras?
Yeah, they especially since Amazon bought them. Like there's often sales, and they're more affordable. Their service packages are more affordable. All that stuff, and they're good. They're HD, and they're not. You're not really sacrificing quality for the price.
Yeah, Mike and I are on opposite sides of the spectrum when it comes to smart home devices.
I have every smart
I've got
gadget
nothing.
I buy.
But
I can open my garage door right now if you'd like me to.
But with all of that, obviously with widespread use it becomes a really attractive target to be for security flaws and security vulnerabilities. And with that have been a whole slew of hackers taking over cameras, coming over microphones.
A slew of them, but there are some reports.
If there have been,
let's keep it friendly.
That's true. Fine. Not so, but
there was one. The one that started this all was that poor little girl in her bedroom. So she was like 6 or 7 years old, and her parents had a Ring camera in her room, kind of like a baby cam. Mm-hmm. So somebody somewhere was able to hack. I use the word hack loosely, but for lack of a better term, I'll explain later what that means.
Yeah.
But I'll say hack.
Mm-hmm.
Hack into their account. Use the two-way microphone to speak to this girl.
Yeah.
And say, pretty awful things to her and try to get her to do things. And, thankfully she was mature enough and smart enough to say, hey, who is this person? And call her parents.
Yeah.
That blew up. It was all over the news. It went viral as, it probably should.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, Ring took a massive hit for that. Mm-hmm. Not entirely fair.
Why?
Because, so what happened there was somebody logged into, let's say, the website or an app using this person's credentials that they got from somewhere. They say the dark web. I don't know where people get these passwords and use it from, but it happened. It's a common thing. When a new streaming service launches, like Disney Plus, for example, or Apple TV Plus, people will use other people's emails to get access because they buy them, they try them, and they work. Why? Because people don't use different passwords.
Yeah, it's
That's
a sort of
one.
situation where there's a big data breach and then there becomes a database of username or emails and passwords.
And you can use them for everything because people aren't changing their passwords or even using different ones.
That's why we've got to use different passwords.
Right. So that's the number one thing. Number two, Ring offers two-factor authentication, which these people didn't have on. Mm-hmm. Now it's mandatory.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get into,
But what two-factor authentication is, for people who don't know, is when you log in to a device for the first time or a website, you get a code to your phone or to your email or to an app or to a security key or whatever you're using. Mm-hmm. It's different for everything. Ring only allows phone and email, which is unfortunate, but hopefully that'll get stronger. So if I were to log in on your computer, for example, because I've never used it before, Ring would say, you can't get into this account. First, I got to have the password right.
Right.
Once I have the password correctly, it sends me a code to my phone. I have it set up for my SMS. It's a text message.
Yeah, sure.
And if I don't enter that code, I can't get into my account. Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to get into my Ring account to mess with me, you can't because you don't have that code.
Yes.
That's what two-factor authentication is. The problem is it was optional.
Gotcha.
And most people 95%, I'll even say. I mean, I don't have these figures. I'm going to say most people, including people I work with, don't turn two-factor authentication on, even though we write articles telling everyone to do it. We don't have it. I have it turned on for all my accounts because of this reason. I'm not paranoid enough where I trust that I have these things in my account, and maybe Alexa's listening to me all the time. I don't know. But I will take whatever security steps I'm offered. I'm going to use them to protect myself.
Yeah. So maybe it wasn't necessarily a slew, but it was certainly a pattern of this is how people got access to these Ring devices.
And that was the pattern. The pattern was consistently people were using these username and passwords to get into accounts.
Yes.
And it's slightly unfair to Ring to get branded as a security risk. They weren't hacked. They were never hacked. Ring's servers were fine. They never, there was no database of Ring servers, of Ring users floating around the internet like that happens often. That didn't happen. What happened was these people didn't have the best security Ring offers. They also didn't have the best security that, IT experts offer. And so it was an old password, an old username, and somebody was able to get in. Why these people were targeted, I don't know. Maybe they knew the person, maybe it was random. I don't know.
Yeah, easy targets. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. And I'm not blaming these people. This is what people do. We're not taught enough as consumers when we buy something, the risks and the protections.
Sure.
I was talking to my brother. My brother is a lawyer in New York City, and we were talking about some account that he got into, and I said, "Oh, do you know your password?" He goes, "Oh yeah, I use the same password for everything." I'm like, "Dude, you got it. Get a password manager." I have, I don't know. Last time I checked, almost 200 different passwords in my password manager, and I don't know them all.
Yeah,
but I have them all, so I log in with my fingerprint, and I can look for it, find it. Does it take an extra 5 or 10 seconds? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? Absolutely.
Yeah, it may sound counterintuitive to not know all of your passwords, but it's not necessarily a bad thing.
And most password managers are, it's a small fee. There are some free ones. I would recommend paying for one because they're, you're going to get the better security, the better updates, the better support. But, what it does is it stores all of your passwords in an encrypted locker that only you can get into with either a passcode or a biometric on your phone, a fingerprint or something. And they're stored, they're locked.
Yeah.
And they're on all your devices. When you get a new phone, that's the first thing I set up. I use 1Password. First app I set up on every new phone I use, which are a lot of them, is that one. So I have them all, and I can, as I need an app, it's there.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit now about what the guidance should be when you have all of these IoT smart home devices in your home, which can be in many ways really appealing, really helpful. I mean, you can obviously speak to the benefits of them. Like you said, you can open your garage door right now. But it's just because you have all these devices in your home doesn't mean that you're automatically going to get hacked, exploited maybe.
Most people won't.
Yes, but you want to make sure that you're taking these important steps. So, and I think that I imagine that that'll become hopefully maybe more of a pattern with the, when you have the doorbells or you have I think this is also a Ring feature, the floodlights and anything that is linked up to the internet should have these added security steps.
Yeah, well, there's the main thing you want to do is obviously put a WPA on your router. So you want a password so people can't drive by your home and log into your router and get access to your home network.
Sure.
That's number one.
Okay.
That's fairly common at this point. Most ISPs force you to do it. Your cable company or whatever. When you sign up for the service, they make you do a password, and you can turn it off, but most people aren't going to do that. So that's number one. Number two is the biometrics on your device, on your phone.
Okay.
So if somebody's, you lose your phone or somebody takes your phone, they can't just go, logging into your smart home devices.
Yeah.
Your smart home apps and your devices. And the other one is whatever security is offered, use it. Go into the settings of, whether it's Nest or Amazon or Ring, and click those boxes.
Yeah.
Click biometric, click 2FA, click whatever you need to click to turn them on.
Yeah.
Because they're important. Now, the other thing is privacy. Those are two different things.
Yes.
So this is all security. These are things that you can do. Privacy, now Ring can be blamed. because they've done some not so great things with privacy. By privacy, I mean selling your information to third party
data,
mostly advertisers for marketing use. They say that's in those lengthy privacy notices that you just click, and I click them too. No one reads those. They generally say that we have the right to sell your blah 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 to third party blah 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 blah, whatever it is, whatever the language is. Ring wasn't really disclosing that so well.
Yeah.
So a month ago, I want to say, they were, particularly their Android app was called out for having trackers built into it.
Yeah.
Which means that, there were third party places that were kind of looking at your account and taking bits of it and sending it here and sending it there. Ring has stopped all that, thankfully.
Yeah.
And they say they're going to be updating in the next couple of months their policy and adding do not track whatever toggles or checkboxes or whatever it is to their app, which is also getting better because they added a new control center that kind of puts all this stuff front and center. So Ring has gone from kind of being the bruised and battered part of this to really kind of leading the way.
All right.
And saying, listen, all right, some of it's not our fault, some of it is our fault.
Yeah.
But we are going to take the steps necessary to make sure that you're protected going forward. Is it perfect? No. Are they still going to get criticized? Absolutely. And we'll see how that privacy stuff works and how it rolls out and when it rolls out and all that other stuff. But I'm confident in the company and the product that they're at least working and moving in the right direction to restore faith and to restore trust in their devices, which is important in this, when you're putting cameras in your home, you want to trust the company that's behind them.
That's what I was just about to let everyone know. It's if you want to have these items in your home, you can probably do a lot to make sure that these devices remain secure, like you said, multi-factor, two-factor, whatever you want to call it. But you also need to make sure that you're understanding what sort of price you're paying, or what that's the best way I can describe it.
You're inherently giving up
exactly
some of your
the
liberties.
price that you're paying, what you're losing for this convenience, and if that's a worthy exchange, then that's a worthy exchange for you.
We could argue about that for 4 hours.
Exactly.
I'll never convince you. You'll never convince me. It's just the way it goes.
Yeah. So that's about it. Use different passwords, multi-factor, and make sure that you know what you're getting into.
Yeah,
all right.
That's it in a nutshell. And I think it's convenient and awesome, and she thinks it's horrible, and I'm a monster.
And maybe not, that's a stretch. It's a stretch, but I don't think I'll be having a Ring doorbell anytime soon. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
And thank you all so much for watching this episode of Today in Tech. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments about IoT security, Ring security, and I want to know whose side you are on. If you have a ton of devices in your house like Mike, let us know. If you have nothing like I do, also let us know. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.